Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about code build secrets. So what is this? So how the scenario works? First of all, let's talk about that one. Okay. So, so Cloud Gold. Okay. So I'm showing you how the scenario work. Okay. It's a very large one and hard one. Okay. The scenario. So let's say you got one profile. Okay. Let's say you got one profile pair of secret strings stored in secure RDS. So your goal is to find secret strings stored in a secure RDS database. So you got one profile, okay, the IM user solo profile, and there you have to begin this, okay. So, so I set up a lab. I just fire this command. Let me simply show you what I fired. Oops, it's too big. Okay, so I just use this one. Where? Okay, you can see what I fired. Cloudcode.py space create space code build underscore secrets. That's in Docker environment. Okay, so that gave me one profile credentials, one IAM user credentials. Okay, let me just note it down. Okay, now I have to set up one profile. So I'm going to set up one profile. Let's say this is my Ubuntu. So I'm going to set up a profile. You know how to set up. So I'll use AWS space configure space hyphen profile space. Let's say I'm doing a cloud code build. So I'll use code build one. Okay, just enter. It will require AWS access key. We already have done. Now secret access key that we already have. Perfectly alright. Let's just do this. Done. Region I'll assign US dash east dash one where the cloud code this cloud code is deployed. Enter. So we have set up one profile. You can identify a caller identity. You know how to identify. Yes. Yeah. Now we have one profile. So what I will do, I'll first use enumerate IAM dot slash enumerate IAM dot py space hyphen access dash key, and access key is this one. After that hyphen secret dash key, and secret key we already have. They just paste this, enter. So we'll try to enumerate, okay, the permissions. Okay. Now, if you look at closely, there is a EC to describe VPCS worked, EC to describe security groups worked. Okay. EC to describe instance worked, and STS get session token, STS get code is working. Describe endpoint is also working. So wait for some time. You'll get more information about this one. This users permissions we are enumerating right now. Obviously, it will take time. It's because it's brute forcing. Okay, so just wait. Okay, wait for some more time. Hmm, we have to wait. There is no other way. Or should I skip? Okay, so basically, let me just skip this. Okay, what you will get in output, I'll just tell you. Okay, so if you run this, because it will take huge time. Okay, sometimes. Now you will get something like this one. Okay, so if you'll run this, you will get uh in terminal you'll get something like ssm dot describe endpoints worked. Okay, that you will get. So what is ssm now? If you talk about what is ssm, why I'm looking only at ssm? Sorry, it's not AAM, it's ssm. Okay, now so ssm describe parameters. AWS having system manager parameter. Okay, that's a ssm. Okay, system manager parameter stores provides secure hierarchical storage for configurations, data management, and secrets management. You can store data such as password, database string, EC2 instance ID, EC2 SSH key pairs, and license code is parameter value. That's why I'm looking for the SSM. Okay, let me just terminate this one. Okay, because it will take time. Okay, so now I will try to call SSM describe parameters permissions allow an IAM identity to list the parameters stored in AWS system manager parameter store. So for that the command is this one: AWS space SSM space describe parameters hyphen profile, and the profile we have created is code build 1. Now you can see you got a store data. Yes, this is the store. Now if you look at closely, there is a CG EC2 private key, then there is a CG EC2 private key, there is a CG EC2 private key, CG ES2 EC2 private key, public key there. So if you notice it closely, a store has an EC2 SSH key pair. Yes, EC2 has in SSH key pair. Yes, private and public. Let's try to download SSH private key. So I'll try to download one private key. Let's just do this first one. Okay, so CG EC2 private key, this one. Okay, let us copy this one. Perfect. Now I'll call again AWS SSM get parameter hyphen upon name, and the name we have to give this one CG EC2 private key. After that hyphen upon profile space code build 1. Let me just observe how the output is coming. Okay, so it's coming in the JSON. If you look at close JSON, and JSON having a parameter, and the parameter there is a value, and the value having this private key. Okay, so what I will do, I'll try to fire one I'll try to assign a query to sort the data query. In the query, I'll double quote, I'll give parameter dot value. Okay, Now I want output not in JSON, okay? I want output in text, so output equal to text. The output text will be look like this one. Okay, there is some issue parameter dot, okay, value v should be capital, okay, that's why it's coming like this one. So you can see the SSH key is starting by this one and the end by this one, perfectly alright. Now I'll save this file into private key. So I'll save this private key into a file p private dash key. Okay, let us enter. So we have one file. Okay, if you look at closely, we have one file, and that file having this private key. Now I'll try to use this private key to connect. Okay, so I'll try to use this private key to connect the EC2 environment. Okay, but now I need an IP address of EC2 environment. I don't have IP address of EC2 environment. So what I will do, I will use AWS EC2 space describe instances space hyphen hyphen output equal to text, and then hyphen hyphen I'll just use profile equal to, let's say, yes, code build one. Now there are many IP addresses. If you look at, there are many IP addresses. Yes. Yeah, there are many IP addresses. Okay. Now I want public IP address. But if you look at closely, there's a ECG, EC2, and this is a private IP address, and this may be the public IP address. Yes, this is the public IP address. Okay, so let me simply use this IP address. Okay, 3.90, or you can also filter this one. Okay, if you want, let's say I want to filter this hyphen hyphen query. In the query, obviously the first will be reservation. Then reservation should be star any data dot instances. I want star in instances too. Then I want, let's say public IP address, or as well as I want a tag. Okay, what is this public IP address? Okay, so I'll use public IP address comma tag. Okay, let's just use this tag, and then everything is all right. So if you look at closely, the public IP address we have got is this one, and the tag is CG Ubuntu EC2, and this one. Okay, perfectly. So let's just copy this IP address. Now I'll try to connect. Yes, so okay, using SSH, so SSH space hyphen I private dash key space Ubuntu @IP address. Okay, so I just connected, and I can also be a root user by just firing the sudo underscore root, or maybe sudo space root. Okay, now so we got EC2 instance key pair, and we have connected. Yes, now we have two options. Yes, we have connected. Now we have two way. The first way is what we will run curl space calling the instance metadata 169.254.169.254. What if I'll call that one? You can see there is one directly latest. Let's go to the latest. In the latest, there is a dynamic metadata and the user data. So what if I'll go to the user data this time? User data, enter. You can see what we have got. We got PostgreSQL. This is the username, this is the password, and this is the instance, and the database name is SecureDB, and this is the port. So let's just copy the instance. Okay, so I just copy the instance. Now I'll try to connect this one. So I'll use a command psql space hyphen h space this one space hyphen u space cg admin space hyphen d database name secure DB. Let's just enter this one. Okay, these are asking for the password and this is the password. Let's try to enter it. And you have connected to secure DB. Cool. So we have connected to the secure DB. Now I'll try to extract the secrets from the secure DB. So what I'll do, I'll try to list slash DT. Okay, so slash DT means it will give you the schema list of relationships. So what I want data from the sensitive information. So select star from sensitive underscore information semicolon, enter. And we got key. Yes, so we have successfully extracted data from the secure RDS. Yes, thank you so much. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about RCE web app. Okay, so I started a lab and I got the credentials. There are two accounts, one is Lara, one is MC Duck, and got access key ID and secret key. Now we have to find some vulnerabilities into this account. So okay, I'll create one profile. Let's say I'm creating a first Lara account. Okay, so Lara is a username, or you can give any username. Okay, let me set up with the default one. So okay, clear. I'll use AWS configure space hyphen profile space Lara, enter. Access key ID. Oops. I don't know where I placed. Okay, let me just copy one more time. Okay, the profile. Okay, so the access key is this one. Secret access key. Done. Region US -east -1 where the cloud goat is deployed. Output, enter. So you can also verify the identity. STS space get dash caller dash identity space hyphen profile space Lara. Now, so I start with the credential of I'm user Lara. Okay. Now I'll try to use. Okay, just wait for this. Okay, it's perfectly all right. User is Lara. Now I'll try to use enumerate IAM script to enumerate the permission of the IAM user Lara. So I'll use /enumerate that's IAM dot py hyphen access dash key, and we have access key space hyphen secret dash key. The secret key we have is this one. Enter. This will enumerate all the permission of IAM user Lara. IAM user Lara. Okay. Now wait. Let me check what are the permissions granted by this user. Okay. So it may take time because it's brute forcing. So EC2 describe VPCS is worked. Instances is working also perfectly all right. Now security group you can also enumerate. Subnets you can also enumerate. RDS is also there. You can also try to enumerate RDS DB instances. Okay. Perfectly all right. Endpoints you can also enumerate that we have seen in previous video. Now we'll okay, there's a global accelerator describe accelerator attribute action is also there. Okay, S3 lit buckets work also. So what we got from this one, okay, just observe. We got that IAM user Lara had some EC2 RDS and S3 related permissions. I want to list the bucket, list S3 bucket. So I'll use AWS S3 ls hyphen profile space Lara. Center. So you can see I got some buckets in AWS account. I want to download the content of S3 bucket. So let's say I want to download this S3 bucket, okay? Key is stored, okay? So let's just copy the bucket name. Done. Now I want to download this one. So AWS S3 sync space S3 colon double slash and the bucket dot I want to download in the root in same directory hyphen profile space Lara. Okay. Unknown options. Okay. Nothing. It says denied. Okay, what about logs? Okay, let's try to download this logs one. Okay, so copy, enter. Okay, so logs we are able to access now. If you look at closely, ls the logs file cardholder one data. Okay, there is okay, but there's a cglb logs. Okay, what is this cd cglb logs, and there you will find AWS logs. So cd AWS logs ls, and there is again some hmm there's a nothing but the ELB access log test file. Elastic load balancing. So what is elastic load balancing first of all? Elastic load balancing is a load balancing service for Amazon Web AWS deployments. ELB automatically distributes incoming application traffic and scale resources to meet traffic demands. That's a now let's go to this elastic load balancing, and there you will find US-East 1 CD, okay, ls and cd201. I want to just check what's there. cd2019 ls cd06 ls cd19 ls. Okay. If you look at closely, you can see there is one file, and this is nothing but a log file. Yes. So now so you can analyze the ELB logs for clues using any tool such as grep, sed, awk, or text editors, or you can also use ELB log analyzer. So if let me check, ELB log analyzer is not there, so I'll install it. Apt space install space ELB dash log dash analyzr. Okay, so you can also use this one. Okay, ELB log analyzer is not there, so let me just install this. Okay, ELB log analyzer install Ubuntu. Okay. Let me just pip space install space ELB dash log dash analyzer. Not font. Okay. Okay, so now let me try to use this one. Let's say try to install this one. How to install? Let me check. Log analyzer for 8. Okay, so you need to install npm install this one. Okay, let me just copy this one, and let's just try this one to install that. First I have to install apt install npm, then we can. Okay, now it may take time. So I guess I have to conduct in two videos, but just wait. Let me check whether, yeah, it will take few minutes only. Okay, let me use, okay, sorry, it's already in. Hmm. So I have to wait. Basically, my goal is to find, okay, so ls, okay, let me use to elb loginizer, and there is a 55. Okay, let's just enter. And what I got some URL. Yes, if you look it closely, I got some URL. Yes. Now, so navigating to any of the URL in the log file return an error. Let's check if there is are any load balancer actually running or not. That's your goal. Okay. So I'll try to let's navigate this URL. Okay. Okay. Let me just use this one. Whether no. Okay. Not working. What about this one? It's the same. But this 47G. This one is something else. Okay. Let's just use this one. Not. What about 47Q? Okay. This one may be different. Okay. What about this one? This one is different. So we have to navigate in URL and check whether there is any error or not. That's the goal. Okay. Let's just use this one. Not got. What about this one? Okay. And finally, what about this one? So we haven't got anything. Now I'll try to use AWS. If you look at closely, enumerate IAM. Okay. Where is the enumerate IAM? Okay. Output. I want to list that enumerate IAM. Okay. So if you look at correctly there, the S3 list bucket, and so I'll try to use AWS ELB v2 describe load balancer. I can try to find load balancer from AWS CLI. So I'll use AWS, okay, cd AWS EL CELB v2 elastic, okay, describe, then load balancer space hyphen profile space Lara. Just enter this one. Okay, I guess there's some error. Load balancer. Okay, enter. So you can see we have got load balancer running. Let's browse to the ELB endpoints on port 80. Okay, so the ELB endpoints you have to find. Okay, so the ELB endpoints is this one, DNS name. Okay, you just copy this one and just browse this one. Okay, it's worked. There's a bad gateway. Okay, what's the error? You got one error, 80. There's a bad gateway error. Yes. Okay, so we got one error. Okay, there is error. Whew. Load balancer is there, but we haven't got anything. Let me just try to visit one by one all this one. Okay, let's try to find some different endpoints, the URLs. Okay, okay, okay. So basically, I tried, but there are nothing, not so. Okay. Hmm. So we haven't got anything interesting over there. Okay. So describe load balancers profile. Lara. Let's enter this. IPv4 subnet is there. Okay. Load balancer name is this one. Okay. Hmm. And the DNS name is this one. Okay, so what if I'll get a see, I got many this one. See, this is a load balancer name. Okay, so let me use this name there. If maybe we'll get something. Okay, not okay. Okay, so let's proceed with the next user. Okay, so we got users too. Okay, so this I didn't work. Okay, maybe you should try. Okay, let me just use this one. Okay, the MC duck. So let me create another profile right now. Okay, it's not worked. Let's start with the part two. Okay, part two of this one. Hello friends, welcome back. So in previous video you have seen we have started with Lara account, but it couldn't happen. Okay, I couldn't succeed. So now I'll try with this MC tag. Okay, so let's just create one profile. So I'll configure one profile, AWS configure space hyphen profile space uh it's a MC duck. So just I'm creating with the same. Okay, MC duck, and wait for the okay. We have to pass AWS access key ID. Done. Then we have to pass this one. It's a secret key. Perfectly all right. Let's just do this. US dash east dash one where CloudGoat is deployed. Perfectly all right. Now I'll try to first use enumerate IAM to quickly verify that IAM user MC duck security credential. Okay, the permissions. Okay. what we can do with this the user MC duck. So for that, cd enumerate dot slash enumerate im hyphen access dash key. We have to pass access key. Okay, then you have to pass hyphen secret key, and we have secret key 2. Done. Now wait for some time. Okay, the user is MC duck and it's attempting the common service describe list brute force. Okay. Okay, so you can see the RDS describe DB instance worked. Now wait for some time. DB instance is also worked. Dynamo DB describe endpoints is also worked. Okay, wait for some more time. Yeah. Okay, so S3 list buckets also work. That means if you look at closely this environment, this user account, you can say have some EC2, RDS, and S3 related permissions. Okay, so now I will try to list the S3 buckets in this AWS account. So for that, AWS S3 ls hyphen profile, and I will give the profile MC duck. Wait, it's sending the signing request to the AWS. Okay, so you can see there's a CG cardholder data bucket, CG key store. Okay, so I think sensitivity is the CG key store. Let's start with the CG key store. Okay, perfectly alright. Let's just do this. AWS S3 sync S3 colon double slash bucket name. I want to download in this the dot slash, let's say key store directory, and then hyphen profile MC duck. Now wait. Key store may have SSH key pair, yes. So just wait for some time. You get output. Yes, something downloaded. So let's go to the CD key store and ls. What I found, there is one .pub file. Okay, so and there is, if you look at cat space cloud goat, what's that? It's a private key, and cat space cloud goat .pub, it's a public key. Okay, it's a SSH key. So we have in SSH key pair an ability to list EC. So if you have enumerated, you have used enumerate -im.py where you got EC2 instances. You can also try to list EC2. So just try to list EC2 AWS EC2 space describe dash instances space hyphen profile space MC duck. Let's just do this. So I'm trying to list the EC2 instances. Okay, just wait. Okay. Yeah, we have to wait. Let me check whether my internet is working or not. So google.com. Okay, there is issue, so that's why it's taking time. So yeah, Wait for some more time. Hmm. Yes. Okay. Let me just disconnect this and let's try to reconnect this. Maybe it will work. Okay, let's do this one more time. Okay. So there is issue with my internet connections. Wait, let me fix this. Okay. Okay. So it's working now. And you can see I have successfully got the EC2 list. Now I want some public IP address, obviously. So there is EC2 instance running. So let me just try to filter this. Okay. So I just use hyphen profile. Now I'll use hyphen query to list. Okay. Query, in the query I'll give reservations star, then dot instances star, and what I want a public IP address. So I'll give public IP address. Let's just do this. Okay, it's working. If you look at closely, there may be also public IP address. I think this is the public IP address. Public IP is there. Okay, it's same IP address. Okay, same IP address. Okay, so we have got the IP address, but still I'm waiting for the output. You can see you got public IP address. Now there's an EC2 instance running in the AWS account. Okay, and we have SSH key pair. So we'll try to connect. Okay, let's do to ls, and there's a cloud code. Okay, so SSH space hyphen I space cloud. I'm using private key, and then Ubuntu at the rate IP address. Let's just do this. Okay, yes, I want to connect. There's a permission denied. Okay, to open. So ch mode 400 cloud code. Let's just use this one now. You've got private key, and I'm trying to connect using that private key. Yes, it's worked now. So there was issue with the permissions. Now you can see you have successfully connected with this instances. We were able to access into EC2 instance successfully. Now let me just check AWS is installed over there or not. Okay. Okay, the issue. Mm. Let me just terminate this and I start my new search space offensive hunter at the rate 192.168.56.108.234, and there is cd ls cd enumerate. Okay, and there is one file cd key store. I have to make myself root perfectly. All right, now I will try to use this one. So ssh space hyphen I cloud goat space this ubuntu at the rate public IP address. Okay, wait for some more time. In the meantime, I want to list it one more time. Okay, so ssh offensive hunter at the rate 192.168.56.108.234. That's my Ubuntu IP address, and you can see. Let me just do ID. It's worked. Yes. Now sudo space hyphen s 1234. Okay. Now what I will do? Let's just list this one. Again, I want to list this AWS S3 ls hyphen profile MC duck. Okay. Okay. So we have successfully connected to this Ubuntu instances. Now, why I'm doing this one? Because see, there are few more. This one, the buckets. There's a CGS3 bucket, blah blah. Okay, let's just do this. I want to list the content of this one. So AWS S3 sync S3 colon double slash and this one dot, or let's say dot slash new sec. Okay, new secrets. Okay, new secret space hyphen profile space MC duck. Let us do this. But the problem is access denied. Okay, you cannot list objects using this permission. So I got another instance IP address. Yes, I'm logged in into the EC2 instances. Now it's common for EC2 instance to have instance profile that allows them to interact with S3 storage. Let's try and see if the EC2 instance can list objects in the other two S3 buckets. Okay, so I'll try to use pip3 space install space AWS CLI. Okay, so I think AWS install or not. So let me check AWS. Okay, AWS is not there. So apt install AWS CLI. Sudo space hyphen s one. Okay. Okay, I'm root user now. So apt space install AWS CLI. It will not take too much time. It will just install few other dependency. Okay, so AWS CLI is installed. Now I'll try to connect the S3 storage from this EC2 instances. That's my goal. Okay. So I'll use AWS S3 space sync then S3 colon double slash, and I have copied this one, I guess. Okay, yes. And then I want to download into a folder, let's say secrets. Enter. Okay, so there is one cd secrets. There is one file. The file is db.txt. Let's just do cat space db.txt, and what I got is a db name and the username and the password. Yes. So the EC2 instances have permission to download object from the S3 bucket. The file downloader has some database credential that they are left there by some developer. Now we have the database credential, but we don't know where to use them. Now if you look at closely, IAM user MC-Duck has permission to list RDS, relational database service instance, in the AWS account. So I'll try to list the RDS instance using IAM user MC-Duck credentials. So I'll try to use AWS RDS describe db instances hyphen region US west 1 and then hyphen profile MC-Duck. Let's just do this. Okay, so you haven't got any RDS information. Let me just remove this region if I can. Okay, just wait. So if I'm removing the region, I can see there are few RDS environment, yes, instances, yes. And this one is if you look at closely, I got this one address db instance identifier. This one, it's a Postgres cgadmin, db name is cloudgold, and now I have to connect this. So how to connect this? We can use this one, the EC2 instance, to connect using psql. Okay, then or let me just write into there and how to, then I'll copy paste simply. Okay, just use it. So the psql space post gray sql colon double slash cgadmin, a username, colon the password. And the password, what is the password? The password is this one, password at the rate the RDS instance. So RDS instance we have got from there. This is the RDS instance. Let's just use this one. RDS instance colon the port number 5432 slash database name cloud code. Let's just use this one to connect PSQL. Now where I'll use this in EC2 instance. Okay, let's just use this one PSQL. I hope a spelling is correct. You can see CloudGate you got. Now slash DT, you'll get a schema. You got the schema, public sensitive information. Now you can use a command select star from sensitive underscore information. You can see you got a super secret passcode, the value. Yes. So this is a way to try this. Thank you so much. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about input validation vulnerabilities in AWS environment. So the target is flawz2.com level 1. Okay, it's also a lab, so not an issue. So when I requested flawz2.com, you'll find there, okay, just wait, let me show you how it will be look like. flawz2.com. Okay, let me just show you. It will be the attacker and defender. Okay, so right now just if you look at closely, it's a challenge, okay, similar challenge. Play attacker side first and then defender side. So let's go to the attacker side. And for this level, you need to enter incorrect pin. Let's say I'm entering X 1, 2, 3, 4. Submit. Incorrect, try again. Okay, so what if let's capture the request. Okay. What's the issue? XY settings. Okay, okay. Request is going on. Oops. Okay. So I just captured the request. Okay, the request was this one. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, and when I click on the go, I got moved permanently. Okay, now you can see repeater. Okay, got moved permanently. Let's just follow redirections, and you'll get an output. It's saying index.htm incorrect, and the waiting repeater. Okay, I wait for the response. So they are expecting a numeric digit. Okay, they're expecting some numeric digits. Okay, in the input. Now, what if I'll give some character? Let's say A, B, C. So when you give character, they will throw one error. So basically, it performs input validation on the client side via JavaScript. Unfortunately, it doesn't perform a similar one on the server side. The backend URL is, if you look at closely, the backend URL is implemented as serverless function example lambda. The second application vulnerability is that application function for handling the submission doesn't sanitize error message. When given unexpected input, it cuff up the environment variables. So it cuff up the environment variables. Okay. And environment variables being used to execute the function, something commonly done for debugging process. So you will get from the error message, anyone can pull the keys to the kingdom. The AWS credential, you can see AWS access key ID, AWS secret access key, and the AWS session token. Now, using the AWS CLI, let's just one can use this compromised credential to list all the S3 storage bucket the account has access. So let's create a profile. So I'll create a profile. Okay, AWS configure -- profile FL to test flaws to lab level 1. Okay, just giving this profile and the access key ID. We have the access key ID. Okay, now secret access key. Okay, we have this one. Let's just enter this one. The default region. Okay, is there any default region listed over there? So let me just check. Okay, it's a user bin path. Okay, US East-1. You can see. Okay, so US-East-1. Perfectly alright. Default format, enter. Now, but the problem is right now you have to mention the AWS session token manually. Yes, so .aws credentials, and there we have to add okay, the AWS underscore session underscore token equal to, so token, let's just copy the token now. Okay, the session token will be up to there. Perfectly. So let's copy the session token. Let me just paste over there. Control X Y. Now let's just use AWS STS space get dash caller identity, whether it's working or not. Caller identity space -- profile space flaws to lab1. Okay. Yeah, it's working perfectly. All right. The username is the assumed role is level 1. Perfectly all right. Now we'll try to list. We can use this credential to then list the content of bucket servicing the label 1. Okay. So for that, I'll use AWS S3 ls s3 colon double slash the bucket. The bucket may be this one, the label 1 flaws dot cloud. Okay, so let's just do this. Hmm. 10 hyphen hyphen profile space flaws to lab 1. Enter. From this, we can see there is one HTML file, yes, secret HTML file in the bucket, and copy it to our let's copy this into our local machine. Okay, so for that, I will use AWS S3 instead of ls. We have to use cp. So cp and then this file. Okay, let's just use this one. Flaws2.cloud slash and this file, and I have to write this file in the root directory. Let's just do this. Sorry, same directory, not root. Okay, so we got one file, HTML file. Let's use cat space this file, and you can see perfectly all right. You can see you got done level 1 secret. The next level is at this one, so let's just copy this next level. Perfectly all right, and let me use this. Oops, 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 oops. I guess I copied something different. Okay, cool. So next level is this one, level 2. Level 2 challenge. The next level is running as a container at there, just like S3 buckets. Other resources on AWS can have open permissions. Okay, so I don't want a hint. Okay, just let me open this one. Container dot target dot okay. So this label runs a container that use HTTP authentication to protect against unauthorized access. Unfortunately, if the credentials are stored in the image itself and the image is accessible, one can easily obtain the necessary credentials. So this label runs a container that uses HTTP authentication to protect against unauthorized access. So if I'm giving, let's say, admin and the admin, what's happening? Okay, there is, okay, it's not authenticated. Okay. So what I will do now, it's running on the container. So what if the container, see, containers are stored in the container image itself. So we have to find, okay, so I'll use enumerate IAM. Okay. Using a profile, same profile. Okay, so I'm using enumerate IAM dot slash enumerate dash IAM dot py hyphen. Okay, let me just take first help. Okay, what we okay, perfectly hyphen a double c double es access key, and the access key we have is I guess let me do this in next video. It will be too long then. Okay, yes, okay. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about open container images. Yes, in previous video you have seen we have got credentials, we have configured the profile, and we got we solved the level 1, and we got one level 2 URL, that is this one. Yes, containers.targetflaws.cloud. Let me just copy this one, copy link locations, and remember this one. This time they are using a elastic container registry. This is the elastic container registry is named label 2. Okay, so remember this one. Now let me just clear the cache, clear data, clear, perfectly all right. Now, so I have got one container and the problem. Okay, this container runs uses HTTP authentication to protect against unauthorized access. It's taking time. Let me just remove the proxy preferences. Okay, sorry, proxy. No proxy. Okay, perfect. Okay, problem is we already solved this one. That's why it's coming. So let me just shut down and then start once again. Let me just open this one. Okay, new private window. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so you can see this label runs a container that uses HTTP authentication, yes, to protect against unauthorized access. If I'm giving wrong, it won't work. Cancel. Authorization required. Just assume, what if the credentials that are being verified here will be stored in a container image itself? So our goal is to find containers image. Now, how we will get containers image? So AWS hosts a container registry, that is Elastic Container Registry, that is similar to Docker Hub and is accessed from the CLI via ECR. So we can access this from ECR. So let's just get a list of images. So AWS space ECR space list dash images, and you have to give the repository name. The repository name is label 2, so I'm giving the label 2 space. Let's just also mention the region dash region space US dash east dash 1 space hyphen profile, and give the profile +2 lab 1. Okay, just enter. Okay, this command will list you all of the images in the repository that are public. Okay, okay, you can see it's listed. Let me check whether the recording is going on or not, because I'm recording this 3 times because this one video was no audio. Okay, so we got a list of images. Now let's try to pull the container from the registry and examine it locally. I'll try to pull this, okay, container from the registry and examine locally. So what I have to do now is an AWS ECR, again ECR, and ECR have an option called batch get image space hyphen profile space +2 lab 1 space hyphen repo name, repository name, it's label 2 space hyphen registry ID. So registry ID is it's AWS account ID. So we already got the AWS account ID by just inverting im.py. So this is the account ID. Let me just use this one. Now try to mention the region space US dash east dash 1. Now I want to attach this image ID. So hyphen image ID, image dash IDS space. What you want image? Which image ID you want? Looking for image type equal to latest. Just enter this one. Okay. So the output we got, but it's see, everything is in image manifest. Okay, remember. Now what I will do, I will try to I will try to make it look good. Okay, so I'll use the JQ. The JQ. Let's just sort this dot images. Then I'm looking for the image manifest. I hope spelling is correct. and let's keep this to from JSON. Okay, it will sort your data. It will make good. So this command will return you all the different images layer for the container in the registry. So you can see we got list of the container images in the registry. Now my goal is to get download URL of any of the image. So what I will do, I'll try to again AWS space uh, again ECR space get download URL for the layer and hyphen profile plus to lab one space hyphen repository name will be label 2 space hyphen registry dash id is account id, sorry, account id, let's just keep this one space hyphen region equal to us dash east dash 1 space. Now what layer image you want to download, so I have to give hyphen layer dash digest and then just keep this first one, okay, or anyone you can try. So I'm using this one, okay. Now enter. Okay, there is some issue with the repository name. What's the issue? Okay, there is spelling mistakes in the repository. Nice. So you got a download URL, perfectly all right. Now we got a, now I'll use just simply curl space double quote to escape or the special characters, enter. Let's just download this and examine the downloaded layer. I'm watching for the output. Later, try to remember tomorrow. Oh, perfect, all right. So you can see if you look at closely, what is this? As pulling the layer shows all the commands used to initially create the base container. See, base container state and are listed. Now, while examining this output, okay. So while examining the output, you can see created by. Look at this command. It's nothing but it's stating the setup's HTTP basic authentication. It's a HTTP basic authentication. This command HTTP pass WD takes in two arguments, a username and a password. Let's try to use username is flash2 and the password is this one. So let's try to use that credential here, FLAWS2, and then wait, I'm waiting for the output, whether I succeeded or not. Sweet. Okay, so this will be like this one, okay. So you'll get output of like this one, and then you got label 3. In the next video, we'll see this label. Hello friends, welcome back. So now I'm going to talk about SSRF to instance metadata. So this time I'm trying to do on flash2.com label 3. Okay, so we got a label 3. This is the label 3. Let's just copy link address and let's just open this there. What I got, the label 3 challenge. This container web server you got access to include a simple proxy that can be accessed with like this one. Okay, so let me just copy this one. Okay, so basically it's a proxy application. So after proxy, if you give anything, let's say http hackerserver.com, it will send one request to hackerserver.com and then you will get that one. Okay. Yes. This type of proxy is prone to server-side request forgery attacks. When the URL points to sensitive locations only intended to be accessed internally, compromise can occur. This label demonstrates the issue by walking you through how credentials can be obtained via ROG requests to internal metadata services that hold account credentials. You can also try something like this one sometimes. You can also try file colon triple slash etc slash pass wd. Let me check whether you can see you got the pass. Yeah. It is possible for one to include a file colon triple slash URI to see whether the proxy is vulnerable to a local file include attack to test. This shows the output when using file colon triple slash etc passwords. Now you can also try this one proc slash self slash environ. Okay, so environment. If you look at code, the environment variables include ECS container metadata. Yes, ECS container metadata URI, which points to the location where metadata for the container are stored. For containers running on AWS Elastic Container Service ECS, the metadata service resides on a private IP address that is not globally routable. This is a private IP address. Yeah. And cannot be reached directly from external networks. Unfortunately, we have a proxy that we can trick that will access the internal service. So you use this proxy to access the contents of the URI. Okay, so just use this one. Okay, till there. I guess yes. Just use this one. So if I use this one, you can see you got Docker ID, image, image. Yes. Hmm. You got many things. The path is unknown. Now, if you look at closely, ECS containers meta URI. Path is version 3. There, till there. Now, what if I'll just use this IP address only? I'll not try to directly, okay? So just use this IP address. This 404 page not found. Okay, perfectly not an issue. After slash, let's try to give less version. Let's say V1. It was V3 in the V1 is not there. What about V2? V2 is not there. Okay. What about V3? Okay. So you are not able to list anything. It's a 40 phase. So I'm trying to just call for the credentials. So I'll go, let's say V2 class credentials. Let's say just use this one credentials. Not got anything. Okay. Let's just go back to this one. Okay, proc slash self environment, and just try to access this one. Okay, now Docker ID we got, name is image ID we got. Okay, cluster level 3 task is this one. Okay, network mode IP address we got, output we got, but the path is unknown. Hmm. Now what if I'll try to just make it v1, this one, everything will be same, just try to make this one v1, not got anything. What about v2, version 2, not got. v3 I'm getting something. I'm not getting any file information over there. Let me just after this one, let me just use latest. If I'm able to use latest, not got. What if I use this one, 169.254.169.254? Are we able to request to that? No. So this is not, because it was internal network. You cannot make request to external network. Yes. Okay. Let's try to do one more time. Proc slash self to get more, because we couldn't got any information here. So I'll use a proc slash self slash environment. I want more information about this environment. Okay. If you look at closely, there is a AWS container credentials. How could I I forgot that one. See, version 2 credentials, this one till there. Yes, we got it. Now I'll try to just go back. This is the IP address. Now I'll use this one there. Let's just use this. Yes. So we got one access key ID and secret access key perfectly, as well as token. So we got everything. Let me just curl it. Okay, so that will be very good. So I'll use curl command, curl space -s, and then this one. Okay, so you look at closely, we got secret access key ID, and the token. Now what I will do, I'll try to, so basically I got a credentials. I'll configure a profile, new profile. Okay, so AWS configure space plus 2 lab 3 level 3. Okay, sorry, hyphen profile, enter. Access key ID, we got access key ID. This is the access key ID. Just copy that one. Then secret access key. Okay, I have this one. Okay, done. Okay, default US dash east dash one, perfectly all right. Output for node. but I have to mention session token. So for that, I have to do manually add in credentials. Oops, let me just copy first this one. This token start from there and there. Oops, there. Now let's just edit this one and add session token. So AWS underscore session underscore token equal to this one, control XY. Now we successfully configured the profile. Now I will do AWS S3 LS hyphen profile plus 2 lab 3. You can also mention the region, but let's just do this. You can see there are, after label 3 there is the end plus. So let's just copy this one and enter there. Done. We have successfully completed this attack path. This is a great lab. This was a great lab, so I just add this into last. Thank you so much.